Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conquest, where today we are going to make some campaign progress. So originally I was going to go after Evine today, but if we take a look at Evine, it is an enemy base, and I've heard whispers that it might be getting a remake. So I think we're going to be putting this up for an episode or two, and instead I think we're going to go to the only other sector we have available to us, Synthesis Facility. I think I said that wrong. Basically every single time that I looked at it. Oops! Alright, well anyways, if we go ahead and take a look at Synthesis Facility, the enemy is approaching from two sides at the same time. Venture into the creation of Crosium, defend and capture this challenging sector. Sounds good to me! Let's get our resources and go. And another thing that I've noticed, Eric here has moved further away from Asthosus, and Trakara's orbit has shrunk. So hopefully they will not smash into each other this time. Very good. Alright, Synthesis Facility, here we go. Alright, well I was not zoomed out at all, but we have 10 minutes to prepare and 35 waves to go. Let's see what we're dealing with. Okay. Good start already. I would assume that the cores / drop zones are probably going to be like here and here, because it did say they were going from two different sides. So if I had to guess, I'd say there's one here and there's one right here. But we do have a whole bunch of basically everything. We've got red sand, we've got normal sand, we've got barite. I did not forget what that was. We've got, oh my god, is that a 5x5? That's a 5x5 right there. You think we get a new core today? That'd be pretty exciting. We also have a Crosium infuser right here. That's derelict. So that's a bit interesting. I bet we'll be unlocking that. Do we actually have that in research? Oh, we do. Oh, how much is it? Let's see. Infuses obsidian with purified oasis water before compressing it to create Crosium. Requires power and pressure. That's 150 power and 12 pressure. That's actually quite a lot. And that makes us 1.33 Crosium. It also takes 1.33 obsidian. That is interesting. That's going to be pretty difficult because obsidian in itself is a pretty difficult resource to get. I'm going to hold off on researching that because I don't want to consume all of the resources in the sector, or I could literally just go somewhere else to do it. Yeah, let's just pop into Detriment Valley real quick, which has kind of been my launching point for the past like 10 sectors because it just has all the resources. So there we go. Crosium infuser. We can also get a nitrogen synthesizer. Ooh! Grinds down obsidian into pulverized powder and pressurizes it with oasis water using pressure to create nitrogen. Cool! Apparently we are using a lot of obsidian today. Interesting. Hopefully there's going to be an easier way to get obsidian, because right now you have to mine the crystal geodes, and that takes forever. But there we go, nitrogen synthesizer. Now I'm not really sure what you can actually use that for. I mean, we're going to have to go make those two things to even unlock all the tech for them, so I guess let's actually go back to Synthesis Facility here and, get some resources. Alright, basic 4 are in, and obviously I had to get a bunch of Fahrenheit. This isn't even enough, and I am going to go ahead and upgrade this line here because I feel like we might be getting bottlenecked. Next up is going to be obsidian, and we are going to have to be careful starting now, mostly because we need to figure out where the enemies are going to go, and we need to figure out how to block them off. We might want to have the enemies exclusively go here. Now, of course, I don't know where the drop zones are, but if we can wall it off here, or maybe even here, and like up here or right there, then the enemies will only go here, and then we can have a defense right there. Let's go get obsidian next, and we're going to go all the way up, mostly because that's the closest one, and there should be plenty of geodes around here for us to use. Alright, we got a little bit of obsidian in here, and just to save some time, I'm going to merge this onto the lithium line, because we do not really have enough lodestone to care about that right now. And then once we get this in, I think I'm going to go straight for upgrading lodestone production, because we will have access to the basins, which is good, because we really need to upgrade this. Alright, let's go get that set up. I don't really want to take this out yet, so let's just go ahead and plan this out. We can get exactly 3 lodestone basins going, but we do need water, so we do want to put this in a place where we can access that. The closest water is going to be right down here, so we're definitely going to need a wall off this side to make sure the enemies don't go this way, because I don't really want to lose my lodestone production. We're also going to need to get some barite soon, but we'll deal with that later. Let's just try to get this lodestone going up because we really desperately need it. Okay, there we go. That did take a little bit longer than I would have liked, but we do now have lodestone, and we are going to completely ignore that factory and go work on barite because we desperately need it. Now, of course, barite does take power to mine because we need to use the advanced abrasion quarries to even get it, so that's going to be fun. We're going to have to throw down some kind of power creation over here. I have no idea how we're going to end up doing that. The power schematics I have take a lot of resources that we just do not have. So instead, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to deconstruct one of these Crosium things and see what it takes to make. Not a whole lot. That's a bit unfortunate. I was really hoping that would give me some barite so I can use the vents over here, but that is not the case, and that is a shame. The real question is, does the barite cooler, it takes barite to make, so we can't actually use that. We will have to use the quern, which does take power, so we're going to have to get some power down here, which is a little bit unfortunate. How about that big solar panel power? Is this good? This takes 360 power, which I think is exactly enough, or maybe 60 power over enough to make one barite drill. So I think I'm going to go ahead and throw that down, unless I find some lignite somewhere, and then we'll just throw that down because that is a lot cheaper. Let's go look for lignite. That's just way better. Okay, yeah, there's some up here. We're going to do that instead. And also, we have 10 seconds before the wave gets here. Okay, so it looks like, oh, it's red sand and up there. Interesting. So let's go ahead and head up to the obsidian land, and let's use the obsidian as ammo. Maybe we can put down a fulmination, and then we can use that for ammo over here because, yep, here they are already. Let's just go ahead and pause that building and take this guy out myself. And we'll slap a router down right there. Get this defended with some lithium, and then hopefully that will take care of the guy right there. And these guys appear to be going through the middle, although, oh yeah, there's already one right here. Okay, that's where the other one was. I was concerned. So where to go? It's already here. Okay, so this guy's going through the middle. We kind of don't want that because that's pretty close to where our barite's going to be. So let's just throw down some Fahrenheit drills, and then we can put some Fahrenheit ammo to turrets over here. Catapults are pretty good for early games, so I think we're just going to chuck down a whole bunch of them. Bend that with some lithium as well, and then we should be fine. Now, it does look like our lodestone is extremely quick, so I think I will actually go ahead and throw down that big power schematic. Not that one, although we might want to use that. That might be really nice. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Let's just get this one down. We'll put it all the way up here so it doesn't, you know, get in the way of anything. Put our barite quern right there, and that will be some starting barite, and then we can use liquid barite because it's just easier to get, and we can use the unpowered pumps to actually craft it. I don't really want to use the powered pumps because, I mean, we do have a whole lot of lignite up here, but it is kind of a hassle, so let's just deal with what we got right now. Now, in an unfortunate turn of events, the only way we can actually get barite into our core is by running right through where the enemies walk, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this. Eventually, of course, we're going to move our defenses up, but for now, we're just going to have to deal with it, so that's fun. Let's go ahead and check on our obsidian production, and let's try to build a Crosium infuser so we can get our hands on some Crosium. We do need 1.33 obsidian per second, and I believe a geode cracker might actually make that exactly. Yep, one geode cracker, it makes exactly enough for one Crosium thing. Now, what's the other thing that Crosium needed? Wasn't it water? Ugh, purified oasis water. Now, where on earth are we going to get that? We might actually want to just go over here, because the enemies go up here anyway, so if we, like, use down there, that might just be better. Let's just do that. I'm going to try to use our geode schematics, so that'll give us 3 Crosium factories, and hopefully that'll be enough to get some good research going, get some good turrets going, get basically everything that we need going. And we are going to need to purify some oasis water, so while we're here, let's just go ahead and get that set up. Unfortunately, it looks like we did miss one of these guys, so let's just go ahead and take that out, and I'm going to go ahead and put an Ascendrit on our obsidian lithium line. How on earth did I mix up obsidian and lithium? Okay, well, there we go. We got an Ascendrit down on our lithium line. That should hopefully take care of that. Looks like our fulmination is kind of struggling, which is unfortunate. Bro, it's so bad it couldn't even take out one guy? Dude, how? Okay, we're definitely going to have to get some more turrets up here. Unbelievable. We have so much resources, it might just be worth putting down that solar panel power schematic that we have and put down some Cavalier, because I feel like that might be a good idea. It takes forever to get anywhere because these core units are slow, so you do have to kind of plan out where you're going to go and how quick you're going to get there. It is kind of a problem, but what are you going to do? Walk faster? Alrighty, there we go. We are getting... That is not what I was supposed to do there. Alright, there we go. Obsidian is coming in. We've got some oasis water right here. Let's go ahead and throw down a Crosium infuser. Now, these also take 12 pressure each, so let's just make a quick schematic for this. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just not going to include the pressure in this schematic, and I think we're just going to deal with pressure as is. Majority of the time, I'm probably just going to be using these because they're convenient, but I don't want to force myself to use them, you know, because, I mean, they are quite large. And this would, in fact, increase the size of the schematic by a substantial amount. And then we can go ahead and save this as a schematic. We'll call this Crosium Tileable. Tileable? Tileable. Perfect. Oh, and these also take power. Rats. I did not think that through. So these take how much? 150 each? Brother, that's a lot. And we got 6 enemies to deal with. Shenong. A rave. I knew that. And a shiv. That's probably the same on the top side as well, so we are going to have to go deal with that. But I would like to get this kind of up and running first. Minus power. We just don't have power over here. That's kind of a problem. How much does that power schematic for lignite make? 280? That's it? Oh, that's not enough. If we put down this big schematic, that will be enough, and then we can just plug it in like that. Ugh, boring. All right, well, that's going to take forever to build, so hopefully my defenses can hold long enough for me to actually build this so I don't have to respawn at the core, because if I have to respawn at the core, I have to walk all the way back here, and that's going to be not fun. Let's try to build this going first, just so we can have a tiny bit of Crosium, which we do now have. Let's go ahead and respawn at the core, because the enemies are, in fact, here. I forgot I had an Ascendrit here! Oh, that was stupid. I shouldn't have respawned. No, I also probably should put a quick mender on the core. While I'm here, you know, I might as well. There we go. We can put a mender on the core. Let's just repair everything here. I don't think anything's broke, but we should probably check. We're good. Nice. And let's go ahead and get that built up. Although we do have Crosium now, so let's go ahead and check the research. What do we... Oh my god, is that it? Is that it? Yes! Lithium compactor grinds and compacts dematite and lignite into lithium more efficiently. 2 lignite, 3 dematite, 6 heat, 4 lithium per second. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Now, where are we going to get that 6 heat from? Solar panels! We are going to have to figure out a way to make that kind of like tileable, but I'm going to just make a schematic for 2 of them because that's usually what I make for the small lithium compactors anyway. So that should be perfectly fine. All right, let's go ahead and get this Crosium built up the rest of the way here. I didn't even check the rest of the research. We also have Crosium walls, which take lodestone. Wall made from Crosium, it defends allied structures, capable of absorbing lasers. Ooh! Yes. And they also conduct power, I have noticed. I think barite walls do that too, which is weird. I don't think they take power, but they conduct it, so you can put menders like on barite walls and then just plug in the wall, and I think that would work. Now, the real question is how much health do they have? This is 590 compared to barite's 890. So I'm thinking we probably want to do Crosium walls in the back of the defense, and then we just have layers of barite because it's so cheap, and then we can conduct power through the Crosium to power our menders and make our defenses much stronger. All right, sweet. What else do we got up here? We have a diffusion reactor. Generates power by diffusing a mixture of nitrogen and silicon tetrafluoride using heat. Explodes violently if insufficient coolant is provided. 8 nitrogen, 12 silicon tetrafluoride, 30 heat units. We need 30 heat units to keep this thing going? Jeez, dude, how do we even get all that? No idea, but it generates 2,000 power. We also got another thing right here, the Oasis Water Griddle. Oasis water using pressure and sand to create purified Oasis water is more efficient than a regular sieve. No kidding. So it's 48 to 36, which is 75% instead of the 50% that the sieves use. And we just use normal sand, which is a complete byproduct right now anyway. That's actually really useful. We should definitely be researching and using that. We also look like we have a new belt, Crosium belt. Packages stacks of items before sending them off. Outputs 3 items. Okay, so Crosium looks to be the plastanium of this planet, which is nice. Oh, what is this? Slag cooling mold. Cools down large amounts of molten hot slag using Oasis water to create obsidian. Oh, hallelujah. We can actually use the slag and get obsidian without having to mine the stupid geodes. Yes! And it only takes 4 solar panels to run. Oh, it's beautiful. 30 slag is kind of a lot, but honestly, I don't even care. That's incredible stuff right there. Definitely going to be using that, so that'll probably be the first thing that gets researched. We also have a new turret, Myriad. Fires homing and fragging missiles at enemies, applies the shock status as well. Cool. That takes Crosium, lithium, and Vesmonium, and it looks like this thing is going to shoot very quickly because it only does 3 damage per hit. Okay, cool. And also, it looks like we have access to the tier 4s, which is cool. We have the Apholops, Elucidate, Hequant, and the Apex. And also the progressive component assembler. Sweet. We got anything else down here? Does not look like it. All right, well, first thing we're going to be making is the slag cooling mold, and then the Oasis water griddle, and then probably the lithium compactor. Very nice. And we ran out of lithium. Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. All right, let's get this huge pipe back. We can get some Crosium, and let's make sure that these two are powered. It looks like they aren't because apparently these things do not transfer power between themselves, which is like really annoying. And there we go. Crosium has been acquired. Nice. Okay, so now that we actually have some barite, I think it might be time to upgrade our barite production because it is kind of lacking. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then we can start getting some defenses up, I think. Now, the reason I say we can upgrade our barite production now is because we have access to the power vents, which is going to be so much nicer. Now, we ran out of lithium again. Absolutely no surprises there. So I feel like we might just want to use the Crosium that we have to research lithium. And it looks like we unlocked a defringe from going to synthesis facility because I did completely just misclick there. Okay, cool. Let's check our research, which is what I meant to click on instead of the planet map. But let's go ahead and unlock the lithium compactor. And we need a little bit more Crosium, but that should be arriving pretty shortly. I also have not really looked at the animation for these things. They are looking pretty cool. They got like a little bubbly thing in the center. That is quite cool, actually. Okay, we should have enough now for the compactor. 9 more? Seriously? There we go. Nice. Now, lithium compactor. Let's see here. So it's 3 and 2. I think we actually will be needing more lignite. Yeah, we do, because this is currently mining only 2, and it's actually not even mining 2 because it's gotten blown up. We should probably go fix that. All right, that should be exactly 4, or maybe a little bit more. Let's focus on getting this lithium upgraded. We have 170, so we should have enough time to do this. Now, they each take 6 heat units, which is a decent amount of heat, and unfortunately, we don't really have a whole lot of ways to make heat. We have the solar heater panels, and I think there's also Cretite Etna. They make heat, right? Yeah, they do, but they take a lot of Cretite, and I don't really want to use Cretite. And we could also use lignite, but I'm using all of it to actually make lithium, so I think we are just going to stick with solar heater panels. Probably not a good idea because they take forever to build and a lot of resources as a cost, but at this point I just don't care. I just need to get lithium going, you know? Okay, that is a janky schematic, and it is definitely not very good, but it does work. And we are completely out of lithium, so that was a mistake, and we no longer can make this. And let's just go start chopping things out that have lithium. I don't want to make any in the interim. Let's just start cutting walls out. Honestly, we don't even need these. As long as we get one of them, it'll be going slowly, and then we can start upgrading from there. 40 lithium for a solar heater panel is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. I just want to point that out. All right, but we are getting some lithium in, so let's go ahead and start planning the rest of these out. Once the lithium actually goes in there, this will be fully efficient, making, what was it, 4 per second? Oh my god, that's so much. Never gonna have to worry about that again. Oh, that's not good. Okay, yep, wave 7 looks to be the wave to be concerned about. Now, since this is generating lithium, we are going to throw down some Sendrit on the line here. There's 20 enemies, if you haven't figured that out, and of course, this is the one wave that I cut out all my defenses. Let's try to get these built. This should take care of this. We are going to lose a bunch of our lithium factories because they are already here. Get this going. Let's get this going. Come on. Oh my god, this is so bad. There's so many. I think we're just going to lose here. That's bad. Okay, well, in the event that we do lose, let's go ahead and get some stuff researched. Like the, let's see, can we get the slag cooling mold? Yes, we can. Let's get that. Let's also get the Oasis griddle and maybe the walls. That might be nice. And that is all of our Crosium. So here we go. Will we lose? Probably. Ah, dang it. We were so close. There was only one left. Rats. That is too bad. All right, well, yep. At least we know now that Wave 7 is the wave to be concerned about. We do need to get defenses before they show up. Good to know. Well, now that we know Wave 7 is the wave to worry about, I think we can go ahead and speedrun basically every single resource production that we can. We'll probably stop when I've made the Crosium, and then continue from there. Here we go. It's speedrun time! Okay, we are back. Okay, we have gotten basically exactly everything that we had, but just 2 waves faster, which honestly, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and just look around. I decided to use lignite power down here for the Crosium. We've got, of course, the 3 Crosium things going up. Apparently this one doesn't have any water, which is weird because it should. Ah, because I never put in the routers, that's why. Okay, well anyways, besides that issue, we have everything back up and running. We've got our big lodestone factory, we got our big 8 per second lithium factory, we got a decent amount of obsidian, although it's not really generating a whole lot, but we haven't been using it too much, so that is kind of why that's super high up there. We just upgraded our barite, we have a lot of the basic resources, and now it's time to get some defenses down because we desperately need them. Now that we also have a whole bunch of barite, we can definitely use barite walls, and we'll probably just have to make ammo on site for all of these, or we just wall them off and then force all the enemies to go one specific direction, that might just be the best option, let's be honest. So one of the drop zones is in here, I believe. It's a very small one, but that's fine. So why don't we just go ahead and wall this off over here, so then they don't go this way, and then we can force them to go up through this area, which I think they already do, so that's not really a huge concern. But let's just go ahead and make sure that that is 100% what they're going to do. I don't think I'm going to have enough barite to complete this wall, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. Kind of expected that anyway, so we'll just use some Fairnite. And then we can also wall it off right there, so they won't want to go this way, so the other drop zone right here will reroute around to here. There is also a whole bunch of just random resources around here, so we could probably make a decent lithium factory, maybe some lodestone, who knows really, and then we could use that to fuel/ammo up that side. So that's probably what we're going to be doing. I guess I probably should go ahead and get some kind of factory going over there. Honestly, I think the best way to go about doing this is probably just going to be some either Cretite or Barite Ascendrite. I did not know Ascendrite could shoot Barite. Have I used that before? I feel like I've used that before, and yet I just don't remember that that's a thing. That is rather weird. Okay, well, we're definitely going to be doing that then. Okay, so we do have 10 enemies on this wave, so let's see. Yep, these guys are going up, and these guys should be going right there. So we're going to wall it off right there and get our defense going here. So let's focus on doing that. I am going to have to get some additional barite, though. That's how we're going to be ammoing these up, so I guess we could probably... You know what? We may as well just reroute it from over here because we are making it a decent amount anyway. And it looks like we're making so much that it's even getting clogged up, which is quite surprising, actually. That's because it was going into the same lane as the lodestone. That does make a whole lot of sense. So if we reroute that, we should have a whole bunch more barite. Okay, let's go just reroute that. We got so much now that it's not really going to be a huge concern. Make sure we take care of these guys. Hopefully the ones that do get through will get destroyed by that one Ascender that I have by the core, just like last time, and then we should be good to go. So let's kind of hurry it up because we do only have about 2 minutes to get this defense up. I think if we do something like this, that is going to take a lot of our barite, but I don't think that's going to be a huge concern. And since we are using barite as ammo as well, we can definitely use some of the other like big beefy turrets, which is going to be very nice. And we're going to do Ascendrite first. I probably should leave room for Menders because that is an important thing that we need to do. Although, you can transfer power into these barite walls, I think. So we don't really have to run power cords. We could just do something like this, and then we just have the menders up front. Okay, let's do that. And we can also throw down an Instaro right here, and we can put some barite walls around it as well. I hope that 5 Ascendrite and an Instaro is enough to take care of these guys. So we got ammo in here, we got our turrets in here, and that should be good. Now all you gotta do is build these walls, and then we can focus on upgrading our barite. Oh, right. Hold on. Pause on that. We need to go wall this off over here. I almost completely forgot, and they would have gone all the way around and destroyed me. Okay, that could have been bad. We don't have a whole lot of time to get up there to do this, though. Do you think my unit's going to be fast enough? Yes. Just barely, though. Okay, we definitely do not have enough time to build all of this, but as long as there is one solid wall in there, they shouldn't go this way. The real question is, will this be enough? I'm not even sure. There isn't even a full wall in here. Oh my god, this is going to be bad. Okay, they did go around, though, which is good. That's what we wanted. These guys do have a decent stockpile of ammo, so I have high hopes that this will work. Oh, perfect. Okay. We're definitely going to need to get more ammo because we are almost out already, but it is working. You know what? Not bad for a hastily put together defense, you know? Although these Ascender really like to eat through ammo, so we definitely need to upgrade that. Oh, and also, let's go ahead and research the large Crosium wall, and then we can put that on the inside. Because it also prevents lasers from going through, which is going to be extremely, extremely useful. This takes forever to build compared to barite. Wow, 3.2 seconds. Oof. While that's getting built, I'm going to go ahead and plan out some barite coolers. I know we've got some lignite up here, which we'll be using. There might even be some, yep, there's some right there, which we also might use. All right, there we go. Got that wall fixed up, and we are getting about 4.5 lignite, so we can run 9, although just in case I did the math wrong, I'm only going to be running 7, and also because these things are decently expensive. So what we got to do now is get a whole bunch of coolers, connect these up, but we also need to pump in water. We could just do 3 of these guys. We'll fuel 2 of them, and we have 7. So we could just also do something like this. We have so much water over here, I'm not really too concerned about it, so why don't we just go ahead with that. And I'm going to exclusively have this go into ammo, and then the overflow will go back into the resource line. I think that's going to be a better idea. Okay, we did just cut off ammo, so we do need to get that back before the next wave shows up, but all we got to do is run some water over here. Boom, and there we go. All of these barite coolers should be running at essentially full efficiency, and it looks like they are. Perfect. Okay, so that will be 0.6 times 7, so whatever that is, 2, 4, a little bit more than 4 per second, which is not bad at all. Okay, another thing that I did notice, we have 5 more vents down here, and you know what that means? More barite. Yep, I don't even care. And we are also going to put this into the ammo line as well, because barite is going to be our main source of ammo. Honestly, favorite resource on the planet. I don't even have all of them yet, but I can almost guarantee you this will still be my favorite at the end. All right, well, there we go. We got a whole bunch more barite. I think now we should probably upgrade our defense some more and also get a power schematic of some sort going over here. We do have a lot of resources, and we do have this right here, which makes a nice 1500, which would be very nice because we could throw up some force fields as well, and that might be pretty good for our defense. So I might just go ahead and throw in one of these, or how about I stop being lazy and actually use the red sand and make Creetite like a normal person. Fine, I'll do that. That's boring. Okay, on second thought, this takes Dematite, and I'm extremely lazy, and there's Dematite probably over here. Indecisive. I'm so indecisive. Just make up your mind, man. Fine, I'll do it. We also have 20 enemies, so I should probably go check on that. How are we doing? Just fine, just fine. And there we go. Look at that. Creetite turbines have been created. That should give us a solid 1500 power per second. Very nice, and we can run that up to our defense, which... oh, we can run it right through this way. Perfect. Very nice. Maybe I should have set up power like that earlier, because I feel like that would have just been useful, but can't win them all, I guess. All right, now, theoretically, since the Crosium walls transmit power, I should just be able to place menders on them, right? Yeah, look at that. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. Right, these are on? Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing, dude. Whoever thought of that idea, genius. Okay, and now we also have some space for additional turrets in the menders, which I think is where I'm actually going to place the Ascendrate. Let's go ahead and move these guys. Unfortunately, I did that pretty preemptively, which was kind of stupid, but oh well. Yeah, because we can even double up with like half the space, which is like perfect. Okay, now here's the question. Did I take this down too early? Yes, I did, because we aren't even getting the ammo in there. Yeah, that could have been bad. Luckily, the radiation is slowing them down, but I need to actually put the ammo in. Oh, this is bad. Okay, so I definitely did just tear those down way too early. Oops! Okay, can we please go away? Well, that's what I get for destroying my defense, like, during a wave. Alright, now we do also have a Guardian approaching in 10 waves, which is interesting. So we definitely will need to be prepared for that. We are currently building up our defenses as we speak, though, so we'll see. Now, the real question is, does the Crosium wall block the Shenong lightning? I feel like it did, but I don't have a way to prove it. No. Alright, we are making some decent progress though, plugging in the rest of this stuff. We are going to be plugging in some barrier projectors as well, which we probably can just like grab power from the Restoration Dome, which gets power from that. Yeah, we can. Oh, that's absolutely amazing. Look at that. Ammo in there, ammo in there. Honestly, I think this defense is probably going to be perfectly fine, and I shouldn't have to worry about basically anything at all anymore. Except when that Guardian gets here. We'll be beefing that up later. Although I do want to do one thing real quick. Last episode, I said that I was going to make some healing units, and then I never did. So I think we're going to do that this episode. I want to make some Illuminate. They do take a long time to build, but they will be pretty useful. So we just need some lithium, some mechanical joints, 2 of the big menders, and a fulmination. So we're going to need some obsidian. We probably are going to have to make them over here, mostly because there's resources over there. That does make sense. We also have another core tile that we can place down. You know what? We may as well actually do that. We do have a decent amount of resources. I'm going to place another substratum core just because, you know, substratum is pretty good. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now that is going to take a while to build, so we can plan out everything that we need here. for the healing units, which it is going to take some obsidian, and I have a feeling we may want to use that new obsidian factory that we got. Unfortunately, the only thing of water we have is all the way down here, so we're probably going to be making our obsidian over here, but that's fine. There's plenty of slag to go around. There we go. Another core, which means we can hold a lot more resources. Let me also throw down some vaults before we go build that obsidian, just to have some extra ammo on hand. All right, now let's go build these things. Now, another thing that I did notice, the exothermic pumps can only mine 18 of liquid slag per second, which is not the usual 24. So if we have 4 of these, that's exactly enough to run, well, it's not exactly enough. This will be 72, which is enough to run 2 of them. So that's what we're going to do. We don't have a whole lot of lignite over here anyway. We kind of just used it for the majority of things, so we do need to kind of be careful about what we use our lignite for. This lignite up here is enough to run all 4 of these, and then that's basically it. There we go. Got some slag in there. Now what we need to do is put in some oasis water. Now we only need 1 pump worth of just normal water. Now these do also take some power, so we are going to have to deal with that, but honestly, let's just throw in a quick 2 pressure rig generator. Wait, why am I doing this? We literally could just plug in the 1500 generator right here. Oh my god. And also, it looks like we are not getting a whole lot of water in here, so we need to go check in on that. Oh, yeah, I'm doing this all wrong. Oh my god, okay. It's 2 sieves per one of these pumps. Oh my god. What am I doing, dude? Oh, yeah, this schematic is broken. I've only been running one of the Crosium things this entire time. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Wow, that's actually embarrassing. Okay, hopefully that won't be happening anymore, and we are definitely going to have to fix the entire water setup over here. Another thing we could do is we could use some of these water griddles now. You know, 48. That makes 36. Okay, so let's see. 32 enemies. Let's just make sure we're not going to die. I think we'll be fine. Why don't we just go ahead and cut all of this out? We're going to connect all of these waters together because 2 of these pumps will be able to run exactly 1 of the griddles, and we need 2 sand per second for those, and let's just check how much we are making here. Exactly 2, so this will be perfect. Man, we really did get sidetracked, and I haven't even made those healing units yet, huh? And there we go. That should be making some oasis water. Nice. Now we need to send some of it over to here, so that goes into this line. This should be making 36, and I believe each one of these takes 12, so we can run, yep, 1 of them over there. Boom, and that should be all good for Crosium. That should be up and running again. We have water. Yes, we do. Next up, we need to plug in these. Now, each one of these takes 12, so we can put 1 more of them in there like so. And there we have our Creatite turbines back on, and we do have an additional oasis generator right here, and we have 36 more purified oasis water that we're currently doing nothing with, which is great. So we probably will want to set up another Crosium factory. Oh, by the way, I know they're all turned off right now. I had accidentally broken the lodestone production, and it looks like it's still broken, which is just fantastic. All right, well, let me go fix that stupid generator, and then hopefully we'll be making all of this water and resources. All right, so now all that should be running, and we can actually make the obsidian here. Now, this should actually have... No, we just need to power them, right? That's what we were doing. And there we go. Now we actually have some obsidian. Now, I'm probably going to be overflowing this at some point, making more Crosium, but we'll deal with that later. Let's just go ahead and get this ran all the way up somehow. Why does everything have to be so confined? All right, well, I think that was the most effort I've ever had to put into making obsidian, but at least we have it. Mostly because it was extremely cramped back there, and I was using a new water tech. All right, let's go watch this wave real quick, make sure we're not dead. It looks to be completely fine. Yep, we should be fine. All right, let's go ahead and make some healing units. And there we go. We are starting to make these things. Another thing to note, I saw a comment, oh, this was a while ago, but you can also input resources into the constituents, which is actually quite convenient. I'm not sure if this one needs power, so I guess let's just go ahead and plug it in, but we are making our tier 3s. Now, you also probably saw, oh my god, our wall is looking not so good. We should probably go fix that. Anyways, you probably saw that there is about 2 waves until the Guardian gets here, so we probably should prepare a little bit more for that. First thing we need to do is figure out why there's no power. Yes, that's why. Okay. Power should be back up and running now. We also should probably throw in some batteries down here. Not a whole lot because they take a long time to build, but at least we can have a couple. That's probably a little too much. That's going to take forever. Okay, there we go. Batteries are up. I'd also like to throw in a couple extra turrets. We can put down some syntakes to put some globs of barite on the ground, which would be a great idea. These things take 3 heat each, so we can just chuck down some solar heater panels. That should be able to heat these up, hopefully, fully efficiently. I have no idea if there's any heat loss on these distributors, but I guess we'll find out. Looks like there isn't. And this is 133% as well, which is quite good. We could even throw down a couple more like this just to see if we can get maybe like 200%. Is that a thing? 150, which is interesting because these should be generating 6 each, but I guess 150 is the max, which is pretty good to be fair. And let's also go ahead and do this on the other side. Unfortunately, there is a tree in the way, but we should be able to avoid that. And we do have 1 wave to go, so let's make sure that we get this going properly. Would like to throw in a couple more turrets, but I'm not really sure what. Let's also go ahead and research the Myriad here. Ooh, we also have another one, Typhoon. Let's see, this one. Rapidly blasts bullets at enemies, specializes at dealing with single enemies head-on, less efficient against swarms. Interesting. So we might actually want to use this. Now, the reason I say that is because we are making a stupid amount of resources to make these units here. Ooh, looks like we have our first one, so let's go ahead and grab into this. It is quite slow, but it's got some pretty cool missiles. You know what? I'm pretty cool with that. Let's go ahead and set them to go over here, and we can like set these guys into position to start slowly healing our defense. When the time comes, of course. Anyways, I was saying, we are getting a whole bunch of extra resources because I didn't know how much we were going to need to make these. So we can definitely like leech off of our obsidian line and make one of these Typhoons. So let's go ahead and grab that. We have another one as well, Concite. Fires alternating powerful rounds at enemies, piercing them. Specializes at annihilating swarms. Less efficient at single targets. Interesting. So we have the single target damage and the swarm damage, and it looks like Myriad is just both. Okay, cool. I think we'll be putting some Typhoon towards the back, mostly because if anything gets further than like here, that's because it's a pretty big thing, and we probably need to take it out carefully. And we will be using Obsidian because it has extra damage. I would use Crosium or Lithium. Actually, you know what? We do have a lot of Lithium up here. We are making a solid 8 per second. So why don't we go ahead and use a Lithium for these? We can put in 4 Typhoons, maybe even 5. You know what? Let's do 6. That's what I said. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to hurry this up because the wave is basically here already. So let me go ahead and grab some Lithium here. Now, I want this to be overflow. I'd like to prioritize getting units. Yep, okay, Guardians are here. Let's go ahead and get these ammo lines built up. I would like these Typhoon to be ready. All right, there we go, there we go. Build, build, build. Let's get some extra Crosium walls in here, and let's check. What Guardians are there? Okay, it's a tier 4. I think that's an Apex, and we should have another one. Yes, okay, so 2 Apexes. The last time we had to deal with these, it was pretty bad, so hopefully we can take them out. Apex is coming in. It's going to start blasting. Hopefully it doesn't do too much damage, and we can get some of our advanced turrets to start shooting this. It does have to get all the way to here to get the Typhoon to start shooting it, but it looks like it might not even make it. Yep, didn't even make it. Okay, not even concerned about that at all. Ah, and half these turrets aren't even connected anymore. Good thing I caught that. Now, here's the next Guardian. It's getting absolutely obliterated. Not even worried at all. Sweet. I have a feeling we may have to fight a tier 5 here, which means we need more defenses. All right, sweet. We're doing pretty good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys stationed kind of on the defense here. As long as we got these guys in place healing up the wall while the big bosses are here, I shouldn't run into any issues. Well, I guess now all that we really have left to do is shoot some enemies, generate some units, and beef up our defense. Plus get some research. You know what? We have a decent amount of Crosium. Let's just go in here and research things. Got a diffusion reactor. Let's go ahead and grab that. I am not going to be making one because I have no way to get 30 heat efficiently. We also got the Crosium belts. These are like plastanium, I think. So if we did something like this... Wow, those are huge packets. Wow, that's actually insane. All right, we also can probably go ahead and grab our Concite here, which is very nice. They do take obsidian, and they do have a Wow, those have a pretty big range. Okay, maybe I will throw some of these in. You know what? Let's do it. They take obsidian, and we're generating a whole bunch of obsidian. So let's just put 2 of them, 1 on each side next to the barrier projectors, and run some obsidian in. Looks like we have a power problem now. What's happening? I am not sure. We're going to have to check. All right, power problem's been solved. Turns out I forgot to put a router down somewhere, which apparently was not causing problems until right now. I want to see these turrets shoot. Let's go ahead and hop in the consite. Wow, that thing looks nasty. Wow, look at that, dude. It's like shooting like little catapult balls. I'm a fan of that. That's cool. And let's go ahead and grab the Typhoon as well. And that just looks like a I'm gonna blast you to death thing. That's pretty cool. All right, those turrets are cool. Should I throw down one of the Myriad as well, just to see what it looks like? Yeah, I feel like we should. And it looks like these healing guys can stand on buildings, which is good. So I'm gonna get all of these guys stationed up, because we do have a whole bunch more. I am a huge fan of some of these turrets, man. These look great, especially the look of this one. That one looks like beefy and strong and ready to destroy you. I'm a huge fan. All right, well, let's also go ahead and hop in the Myriad and see what this thing looks like. Ooh, it shoots like little missiles. Those are cool. Turret design on this planet, very cool. All right, last things we need on research are the units. These should be pretty cheap. Aphalops is only 400. Elucidate, 200. Taquant, 500. And the Apex is 300, which we do not have enough of. But also we can grab the Progressive Component Assembler, which makes all of those things. But we need some more Crosium. Okay, cool. Should I make some more Crosium? I feel like I should. Alrighty, well, there we go. Got another Crosium setup. Now, it is a real spaghetti mess down here. I had to even move the power all the way over here, pressure over here and here. Oh, yeah, it is messy down here, but that is okay. We're using all of the water. We are making a whole bunch of Crosium for research. We even have a crystalline geode in our core somehow. We should be able to unlock the last bit of research, the Apex, and the Progressive Assembler. Perfect. That is everything in the research tree completed for Crosium, and now all we have to do is wade through some waves. Now, of course, I will be beefing up the defense. I will be moving units over to make sure that we're not gonna die. Make sure healing is around everywhere. You know how it is. Five waves to go, and there is a Guardian in 5 waves. I have a feeling that is going to be the big boss of the sector, and it probably will be a tier 5. As you can see, I have been beefing up the defenses. You probably saw that in the enemy attacking cuts, but yep, got a whole bunch more Typhoon. I'm going to add more barrier projectors as well, but obviously we are running out of power. I think we're currently negative by about 150 per second right now. So I think I'm going to get some of these guys to assist me, and we are just going to build a whole bunch of these solar heater panels and connect it up to our powers as well. That will hopefully be enough to run a bunch more barrier projectors. I'm probably also going to be chucking in a bunch more batteries and a bunch of Cavalier just kind of everywhere else that I can, just to make sure that we have enough. I have also discovered that these units weren't actually healing anything, so I put them on repair, and that is what they are now doing. So I need to make sure that these guys actually go get repaired. I have a little unit resynthesizer that I'm going to be sitting them on when the wave actually gets here, so they can all get healed up even if they get shot at. These guys have been very, very helpful in, building and repairing things, so huge fan of these guys. Alrighty, 1 wave to go. 3 minutes, and here come the enemies. And let's try to get a nice view of these. Hey, that looks looking pretty good. Okay, there we go. We have about 2 minutes left. There's a couple things that I need to do before the last wave gets here. We have not made nitrogen yet, and we did unlock it, so let's go ahead and do that. All we need to do is put in some obsidian, some oasis water, and some pressure. And we also have an affinity. If you put it over a vent, you get a little bit more. So I'm going to put it over this vent right here, leach some obsidian from right here, leach some water from somewhere. It looks like we got some right here. And then we can make some pressure right here. And then we can make some nitrogen. Now, of course, I have no idea what this is going to do, and it's hopefully just going to unlock us some more research to do, which is kind of the whole intent why I'm actually making this. Apparently, this thing also takes power. Well, luckily, I can just plug in the solar panels right here, and that will make us some nitrogen. And that unlocked absolutely nothing for us in research, which is slightly disappointing. But hey, at least we have some. I think we can actually put this in some D-pulse. We can. Oh, okay. I like this. It reminds me a lot of cyanogen from Eric here, and it was a very nice color. So, you know what? Huge fan of that. All right, let's go ahead and respawn here and take a look at the core and defenses. Yeah, as you can see, I put down 8 of these power schematics, and I aligned the entire place with Cavalier, and some more Cavalier right here. Put some more Cavalier over here, put some more Cavalier over here. We got a whole bunch of Myriads, we got a whole bunch of Typhoons, we got a whole bunch of Barrier Projectors. We have, I think, 12 of these tier 3 healing dudes on each side for a total of 24, plus we're making a couple of more of them. We got turrets everywhere, we got defenses everywhere, we got everything everywhere. I think we are going to have this in the bag. Now, I'm hoping this doesn't turn out to be a disappointment like the other sector that I did. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember that I was getting hyped up and built huge defenses just for there to be like one tier 4, and I was really disappointed. I am not going to assume that the case though, and I am going to go ahead and beef up everything just in case there is some huge tier 5 or something. I think this is about as good as we're going to get our defense. I could also try to plug in the barite walls, because I swear you could transfer power between barite walls. I don't know if that was removed. I don't know if that was like I made it up or something. But it doesn't appear to be working because I have it plugged in right here. As you can see, there is power, and if we plug in a Cavalier, no power. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but hopefully this will hold up. I mean, there's so many turrets here. There's so many units here. There's so much stuff. I would assume we're going to be fine, but I guess there's only one way to find out. I'm going to go ahead and look at the drop zones and see what we're dealing with. Oh, yep. Oh, hello. That is huge, dude. I mean, we've already fought these before, so that's not too bad, but that thing is scary, man. I don't even know what that is. We got another one up here. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh my god. Okay, well, you know what? Hopefully our defenses are actually capable of defending this. That thing just shot stars at us. It's getting dusty. What is happening? I have no idea. Are we losing walls? I can't tell. How are we doing? It's making its way through. Oh my god, it's actually getting through. Okay, it's down, it's down, it's down. Okay, it wasn't making it through. It's just that there's more than one guardian, so the health meter is kind of weird. Okay, hopefully this thing keeps moving and doesn't stop. If it stops, that's bad news. Okay, we're holding strong. We still have ammo. That's good. Oh my god. What are you doing to me? Oh my god, it's... Oh, dude. It's just mowing through the walls. It's just mowing through them. Oh my god. Is this like a bullet flamethrower? Oh my god. Okay, shoot at it. Hopefully it's, like, not super strong. Oh my god. Dude, are we, like, out of ammo? We're out of ammo in the Ascendant. It's... Okay, I think once it gets to half, it should just die, right? Because there's still another one left? Yes, okay. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. There's just one more, and I think, yeah, he's all the way up here, and it's walking super slow. Oh, okay. You know what? I think we're good. Let's just go ahead and rebuild some of these walls up here just to, you know, take that flamethrower bullet hose thing. Holy, dude! And at least we have a little bit of extra time here to catch our breath and get our turrets ammoed up again. Okay, those things are destructive, man. I cannot wait to use those on the enemy. That thing is going to be amazing to attack with. Now we just have to wait for this guy to move. You know what? Pretty cool looking design right there. You know what? Let's watch this in 4K. That sounds like a great idea. Oh my god, look at that thing. And look at this thing's health just get melted. Incredible. I am very happy I prepared the defense the way that I did. And the sector has been captured. Okay. Would you look at that? We were actually able to take out those tier 5 mechs first time we saw them. Absolutely incredible stuff. I am very happy that we prepared as much as we did, because, you know what? I don't think if I put these barite walls in, we would have survived, because it probably would have shot straight through the wall, straight through all of these turrets, destroyed everything, and we would have died, because it would have walked around that way. But hey, there we go. Sector captured. We unlocked Crosium, we unlocked nitrogen, we got a whole bunch of new research down, and we have unlocked some new sectors, which I already looked at. It's D-Fringe. We can go to D-Fringe now, which is an extreme threat, and I think that is the first extreme threat that we have on this planet, which is quite interesting. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. One final thing that we need to do is we need to go and read the lore tidbit, because this was a campaign sector. The Arumis made sure to create weapons capable of mass destruction, should anyone come to threaten Asthosus and its people. One day, as a result of another planet's experiments, a devastating geomagnetic storm was released from the sun. The storm hit Drakkara first, disabling the final pieces of infrastructure that were still running to protect Asthosus. Interesting. So they had weapons of mass destruction, and then I think probably Erikir's tech? Maybe Erikir's nukes or something? I'm not really sure. But anyways, something caused a geomagnetic storm that took out the defenses on Drakkara, which I have a feeling that is going to be the start of some kind of war, if I had to guess. But hey, who knows? I guess we'll find out when we go to D-Fringe and Furnace Settlement, which Furnace Settlement is right here, but we have to unlock Vesmonium before we go there. All right, well, that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, we're probably going to go after either Avine or Magmatic Riverbed, which just has unlocked. Magmatic Riverbed is an extreme base, and Avine is a high base, so I might just go for Avine, depending on if it gets updated or not. I guess we will find out next episode. And we will get to use Crosium there, because we unlocked it here. Goodbye.